Welcome to the artwork of CP and welcome to Ask When everyone. This will be a double feed and a double feed, I guess. So those of you who don't follow the artwork of CP and do follow Ask When, you get to hear the same content. Now, PSA, because Danielle just said to me, well, I knew this was going on, but Danielle just added another something to it. Because Danielle has put herself in the able-bodied acting field, she happens to be in Mary Poppins next week. And so next week, we're taking a week off because that's insane. It's insane. She's 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Did you just say 2 weeks? Okay, we're taking 2 weeks off because this is
So we are for all the show to be in.
okay. Starting November 4th.
So
Yeah. So okay, we're taking 2 weeks off. Danielle can't do it. My life is my life exploded on me by accident. And so I can't do next week. Next week is going to be, I need self-care, I have people coming, I have a very, 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 very jam-packed day after this, and I shouldn't say that because I'm lucky enough to be doing what I'm doing, but I have a very jam-packed day, and so we're taking 2 weeks off after this because, yeah, Mary Poppins and When's life come first priority, and if CP gets too stressed out, if cerebral palsy gets too stressed out, our tone kicks in, at least mine does, and tone causes muscle spasms, and it's not pretty. It's not pretty. So trust me, it's not pretty. I dealt with a lot of tone in 2019, and I dealt with a lot of muscle spasms in 2019 because stress beyond belief, stress that I couldn't control. And so that leads into today's episode on, yeah, I wanted to tell you guys what's going on a little bit behind the scenes because I know you guys need an update. For those of you, and we did an episode and we did a reflection episode. For those of you that do not know, that are new to all this, um, I am emotional. I am a emotional and physical abuse survivor. I was emotionally and physically abused by a family member. Um, and she has since been reported to the state of Colorado, and she has a record. And I basically cut ties as of Friday, which would have been today. Let me just look at my phone. Today is the 29th. Friday was the 28th, so it would have been the 27th. I cut ties with the witness of my emotional abuse. So I don't know what's going to happen there. I know that my funding from my mom is from my biological mom is from is under the care of a trust fund company. I know that. And so it has nothing to do with my family. And yeah, I cut ties because of they were asking me stuff that I really didn't want to talk about. And they have been no help whatsoever in my care. They have been no help in my care in 2019. No, they did at the beginning of my dad dying. They cared for me. They did all this, but then once the emotional abuse happened, they were no help, and they brought it on themselves. We didn't say that. We did, they saw something, and it and this is gonna break my heart when I say this, but the reason why I got emotionally and physically abused is because of my care. Is because they did not like my care. And so they, instead of talking like normal human beings do, they took it upon themselves to emotionally and physically abuse me and make my life hell in 2019. So, on top of grief, I had to battle the demons of being emotional and physical abuse survivor. So, um, and every time I tell this story, and I'm slowly healing, believe it or not, with big giant animals involved, horses. I'm slowly, slowly, slowly healing. And people have asked me, well, was this part of your move down to Arizona because you got emotionally and physically abused? And the answer is kind of. I will say kind of, because I got a housing opportunity that I couldn't refuse, number one. I needed to sell my house to rebuild my life after my dad died and after my mom died. And so, and that emotional abuse was just the icing on the cake. That emotional abuse was just the icing on the cake. I mean, grief, losing, losing your job, no, grief of your dad losing your job in 2020, and 2020 was hell on wheels for all of us. And then so losing my dad, getting emotional abuse, and then losing my job because of 2020. Yeah, that was the emotional abuse and physical abuse was um the icing on the cake. Now, am I open about it? Yes. The reason why I'm open about it is because I never want anyone to go through what I went through. And yes, do I have a teensy weensy fear of new people coming in my life? Do I tell all my aides that I've been emotionally and physically abused? Am I really careful what I do around my age as far as when they put me in the shower? Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Do I have a teensy weensy fear of new people coming into my life? Yes. Do I have a great support system? I even have a better support system down here slash across the country than I would ever think of. And as I said publicly, I have seen more people in my own life down here than than I ever did in Aspen. Aspen is logistically difficult to get to in the winter, and so people to love to stop by Phoenix, Arizona, because Phoenix, Arizona is a hub, and Phoenix, Arizona is cheaper than Aspen, Colorado. So I have seen more people in my own life down here than plus I have a great base to go off of down here. Moving down here away from all that crap was the best decision of my life. And yes, I'm staying in Arizona. That is one of the reasons why I'm not speaking to my family. Probably won't be speaking to my family ever again because of the and I'm gonna stick up for this person for the rest of my life. All my aides, all my aides, including the ones down here, put 100% effort into my care. Put 100% effort into my care. And none of my aides were lack of care, lack of hygiene, lack of malnutrition or whatever, lack of failure to thrive. I wasn't skinny as a whale, thank you very much. I was skinny as a whale from grief, but I wasn't skinny as a whale from malnutrition. And I say this because my aide, who happened to be my witness, yes, you know who you are. Yes, we are still friends. Yes, all that is good. Did everything she could for me after the emotional abuse, after what happened. So my family brought it on myself, my stepsister, my stepmom, and I will say that publicly until I can't say that anymore. I'm done. I'm not hiding it anymore. I am done with a capital D, and I am so not hiding it anymore. My family is the pits because of what they did in 2019, and then they say, oh, it's none of my business to bring up your team. And I'm like, no, it's not. And do not bring up my BFF into this. And I don't care. I don't care. Those who know, those who know what happened, and those who have supported me, you people have to deal. Because, yeah, those who know what happened, those who know great in detail what happened, you people have to deal. And yes, I do have a teensy weensy fear of new people in my life. Yes, if my abuser, any of my family members come knocking at my door, wanting to ask questions, my abuser especially is gonna get a call from the cops. I've made that clear. My abuser especially is gonna get a call from the cops, and the cops in Arizona, which this is not Aspen, Colorado. This is Phoenix, Arizona, mind you. And my other family members will get a strict talking to via me and via witnesses. And I'm done. I'm done squishing it. I'm done being nice about it. I will share my story, and no, 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 no. Every time I tell this story publicly on other people's podcasts, people think it's the AIDS that did it. No, what I'm saying is no. People could, and I won't throw Danielle into this, but people could abuse her as easily as they could abuse me. And that's all I'll say about that. Yeah, people, it could be Susie Q down the street. It could be a
Yeah.
family member. It could be anyone who wants to take advantage of the disabled.
Yeah. Ah, 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 thing.
Yeah, you haven't been.
Yeah.
You didn't tell me this.
Yeah.
You have by we're going to now see Danny yes monkey mentioned to it. Okay, we're going to have to have Danielle share the story later
Yeah.
offline because Danielle saw the monkey mentioned to it. And I'm sitting there kind of stunned because I I didn't realize that. And we're going to have Danielle possibly share a little bit of her story because we don't want we don't and see my point being is uh a lot of people after they get emotionally and physically abused don't come out of the closet, they hide it and don't report it. Me being loudmouth that I am, reported it a week after, and thank you for a counselor who said, "Do you feel safe at home?" She knew I had a disability. She knew I was coming in for grief counseling. She knew I was coming in for grief counseling, and she said, "Do you feel safe at home?" I said, yes, but this is what happened." And she reported them the next week. The next week, we all started the hell. And so it was interesting because me, I am and was a first reporter, a mandatory reporter, a first reporter, a mandatory reporter because of my educational background. So if I see any any misbehavior between caregivers and kids and caregivers and disabled, I will report them. And even though people think, oh, it will ruin people's lives, I don't care. The loudmouth that I am will report, and I hope that other people will report on my behalf, and I hope that other people will report on Danielle's behalf if it gets to that point of where you need to report. And I am going to let Danielle share a little bit of a story if she wants to the next time we do episode because I did not know this. I'm learning things about Danielle every single day.
Ow.
And so I did not know this. Uh,
I yeah. Well, the but but now I you tell that you for 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 me yeah time.
see, that's what happens. I
Yeah.
see, even with my BFF, I share my story and see, this is what happens. This is what happens. Even with my BFF, she followed me in Hot Soup. She followed me about the book. She followed me about she followed me about scary and icky subjects. I mean, see, this is what happens. So many people come out of the woodwork to say, look, I've been emotionally and physically abused. And the next podcast episode I'm going to be on is, by the way, you guys, I'm going to be on Horses Helping Humans with the fabulous Kathy. And I'm going to talk about emotional and physical abuse and how big giant horses have helped me get in a moment, figure out my own self. Thank you very much. And yeah, we're going to talk about therapeutic aspect by and my biggest moment so far in that. And I'm going to definitely talk about the emotional and physical abuse. And then I'm going to say how big giant horses helped me. And to I want to ride more times than once a week, but we're working on that. We're working on that as we speak. And so we're it's a little bit of a challenge, but we're working on that. And maybe if I put it out to the universe would help me. And I don't say I want a pony for Christmas, but I I think I'm getting to the point of I want a pony for Christmas one of these years because I I love it so much and the big giant well you'll hear me talk about big giant animals and Danny and Sharon have talked about it too. And big giant animals help recover. And they've done studies over the years. Well, Kathy does a lot of work with the veterans and they've done studies over the years on how it helps the veterans doing ground-based work with horses. So yes, ground-based work and riding horses have not only helped CT physically, but it helps emotionally, and I love it. And yeah, and so basically that's it, you guys. And the raw, the truth, and the ugly. And I forgot to say this at the beginning of the episode. I don't think that kids could be listening to this episode because even though you could have a family conversation about it, you could talk about stranger danger on a line, and you could talk about you could necessarily talk about what the what say don't touch my body um and we need to do an episode on we need to do a kids version of that don't touch my body now because yeah yeah this is gonna be interesting because of the way this episode will lead. Yes, we'll do uh maybe in the next 2 weeks when we're back, we will do a Don't Touch My Body episode and then get back to the fun stuff, okay? Because I don't like talking about the ugly truth, but that's okay. And so I wanted to put that out there that, and I don't care if my family listens to this, I do not care. I do not care. They know it. It's public knowledge, and I don't care if my family listens to it. So I just wanted to give you an update on it. And if you want to listen to the original episode, we still have it. We caught it, and it's public knowledge. And so Danielle put the original episode in the show notes and the reflection of we called it end quotes. And so the original episode and then the reflection, and this is just the update to it. And it is how we're calling it. And I give, I, yeah, and if anyone wants more information about why I decided to do what I do and why I decided to do it when I did it, just let me know. Just let me know. I'm an open book. And so it's going to be not easy, but to completely cut ties with my family, but I can do it. And I will now my next thing is to delete WhatsApp so they can't get a hold of me. And because their main communications with me has been through WhatsApp because they're based out of the country. And so I'm deleting WhatsApp. And as I said, I'm off Facebook. So this is only my main media outlet now is my podcast. And even though I'm on social media for my podcast, I'm not necessarily on social media. So you guys know that. And I'll explain why in greater detail when we come back after we do Don't Touch My Body episode. And I'm going to let you guys go. And we're about to go on a 2 week break. I can't believe I said that. But yes, we are about to go on a 2 week break. And I love it. And so we will see you guys when we get back. Bye, you guys.
Bye. Yeah. You. So. So. Uh.
Thank you for following us. You guys love you guys. Bye.
Bye.